It's that time of the election cycle where twice failed Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton comes out and chides the Democratic voters into supporting her preferred candidate in the general election. Now, she did the chiding, she did the scolding during a recent appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Let's get to how this exchange went down. It started with Jimmy Fallon saying, I mean, it's President Joe Biden versus former President Donald Trump. We know that. Clinton weighs in saying, yes, it is, it is. Fallon responds, what do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices? Clinton responds, get over yourself. Those are the two choices. And then Fallon says, yeah, I love that. Now, of course, Hillary Clinton loves that it's those two choices because in her mind, how could anyone even consider voting for Donald Trump? If you're a self-identified Democrat, if you're an independent, you must vote for Joe Biden. So let's get to those comments. She says, you know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies. I don't understand why this is even a hard choice, really. I don't understand it. Further, she says, but we have to go through the election and hopefully people will realize what's at stake because it's an existential question. What kind of country we're going to have, what kind of democracy we're going to have. And people who blow that off are not paying attention. I would argue the Democratic Party is blowing that off. The Democratic Party insisted on cheerleading Joe Biden running for re-election, knowing full well that he's unpopular, knowing full well that the dude's 81 years old and looks 81 years old, or I should say older than that. I mean, it's just, if you genuinely are fearful that Trump's gonna get elected and dismantle our democracy, you would want the best possible candidate to run against Trump. But the Democratic Party didn't allow for an actual primary election. So we, by definition, do not have the best candidate to go up against Donald Trump. But we must vote for Biden anyway, because democracy is on the line. If the Democrats didn't take that seriously, why should the voters? That's what I want to know.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you. The real problem here isn't even Hillary Clinton. Yes, she's
a huge problem.
No, she's just a great representative of the problem. And you could argue that's worse, right? Which is that she thinks that Democrats are entitled to your vote. And so get over yourself and do your duty to vote for me, vote for Joe Biden, vote for any corrupt hack that we put up here. And if you don't, it's your fault. To say that that's a bad political strategy is an overwhelming understatement, okay? If you can have overwhelming understatements, yeah. So, yeah, sister, I got news for you. Nobody owes you their vote. That's why you lost the election. You want to cry about it, that's okay. You want to blame the Russians and Jill Stein, you can blame anyone you like. It was your responsibility to win that election. And the way that you win an election in a democracy, you have to talk slowly because they can't understand words that come out of someone's mouth if they're not donors.
I know, Jake.
Hillary, hold on. Hillary, you have to convince the voters to vote for you by doing things for the voters because you are their representative. It's not that they owe you the goddamn vote because you're their boss and they should know their role. Every time you open your mouth, it sounds like you're scolding us and chiding us and telling us, wagging your finger at us, how to get over it. You better not vote for Trump. We already told you, you owe us the vote. We're entitled to it. The dumbest political strategy. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. If you want Democrats to win, you should not want Hillary Clinton to go anywhere near a microphone.
I mean, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, again, twice failed Democratic presidential candidate. Failed to win the primary the first time and lost to Obama. And then failed to win the general against Donald Trump. Should we really be listening to the woman who lost to Donald Trump?
Guys, I mean, that's such a great point. First of all, Barack Obama was an unknown when Hillary Clinton lost him, okay? I mean, he was such a miraculous candidate. She blew the biggest lead there was, and then she almost lost to Bernie Sanders, lost a 50-point lead to Bernie. At least the other politicians and media liked Barack Obama. Everyone in Washington hated Bernie Sanders, and she still lost a 40-point lead to 40 to 50-point lead to him. And then she goes and loses Donald Trump, whose IQ is in the single digits. If you lose to a moron, deeply immoral guy like Donald Trump, what does that make you, Hillary? These are things you're not allowed to say in Washington. These are things that, she is so. And later, Jimmy Fallon, so sad, man. It's so embarrassing listening to him. He's like, I went to a Broadway play with you, Hillary, and people applauded me because I'm famous. But when you came in, oh my God, it was amazing. All of New York and all of the elites that came to the opera or whatever the hell they went to a Broadway play, they all love you. The rich love you, Hillary. Yeah, the rich do love you, but that's not enough votes. Please, Democrats, can you get anyone who isn't awful at politics, who isn't corrupt, who isn't yelling at the voters to vote for them, and actually trying to do something for the voters? I know it's a revolutionary thought.
Yeah, I don't think that the Democrats should assume that they're entitled to any votes without actually listening to the voters. And I want to just go back to the very first quote. Let's go back to the first one, graphic 2. Where she compared Donald Trump to Joe Biden, saying that Joe Biden is, he's old, but he's effective and compassionate, has a heart. How do you square that circle when Biden continues giving, rewarding Israel's slaughter of civilians in Gaza with more weaponry? Like, how do you make it make sense? I want to understand. Because look, that argument might have worked prior to Israel's war on Gaza, but it's not going to work anymore. You can't make that argument as you see tens of thousands of literal children get slaughtered by a country that we keep rewarding, that the Biden administration keeps rewarding.
Well, the difference between you and Hillary Clinton, Anna, is that you think Palestinians are human beings.
I do, 100%, yeah. I guess Hillary Clinton and her brand of Democrats don't see it that way.
They don't at all. Hillary Clinton sees 32,000 dead Palestinians, 23,000 of them are women and children, and she thinks, oh, I wish we could rush them more money to kill more Palestinians. Oh, please. Oh, and Joe Biden's so sweet. He has so much empathy for the guys committing genocide, zero empathy for the Palestinians that they're butchering.
Yep.
So that's the monsters that are, okay, but I gotta read one thing from one of our YouTube members. Terry Keating writes in, the problem is we have no choice. If we don't vote for Biden, then Trump will win. WTF are we doing? Well, Terry, that's the thing. So Hillary Clinton knows that, Joe Biden knows that, Democratic Party knows that. That's why they basically holding the country hostage and saying, ha, our opponent is hurt. Remember, Bill Clinton convinced Donald Trump to run against Hillary Clinton. Oops. And remember, Joe Biden tried to help Donald Trump win the Republican primary because he thought he was easier to beat. So both monsters were in a sense brought to you by the Democratic Party. I will never vote for Trump, okay? And I don't want to aid and abet Trump. And I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. But Terry, it's for you and I to demand better, and for the Democratic Party or any party to give us one non-corrupt, non-immoral candidate. It's not too much to ask for. So in any given election, do whatever you think is right, okay? But keep demanding better from the party that you have any kind of allegiance to, because it doesn't look like they have allegiance to you. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.